What's it? You've got, okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're rolling. Oh,
We're rolling.
Excellent, excellent, brilliant. Yeah. So today we're going to have a little look at rounding whole numbers to the nearest 10 and numbers to the nearest 100 and to the nearest 1,000. If we start off with rounding a whole number, I've put in my place value columns here, my tens, units and tenths. If I wanted to round to the nearest whole number, I put this the tenths here because it's the first column to the, as you're looking at it, to the right of the units, whole numbers units. So I'm doing that. Now I've got a choice here. Nearest whole number. If I went down, it would be 82, but if I was going up, it would be 83. Now I've got to decide which one of the 82 or the 83 to select. So I use this rule here. If the number to the right of the units column is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, then I'll take the lower option. And it is in this case here, I've done it as a blue one there, so the correct answer, rounded to the nearest whole number, would be 82. If we now move over to the rounding to the nearest 10, again, we've done our place value of hundreds, tens and units, and I've highlighted the number to the right of the tens because we're talking about rounding to the nearest 10. Now my two options that I've got here, I could either be 370 if I took the lower option, or I could be 380 if I took the higher option to the nearest 10. Now, if you notice I've made the 6 red, so the red means it's either a 5, 6 or a 7 or 8, 8 or a 9, which means here we take the higher option of 380. So our answer will be 380, so I'll circle that one. On we go, big numbers now, we're getting on to the nearest 100. So once again, same rule applies. I look at my hundreds column and I look at how the number to the right is behaving in a tens column. So it's a 2. So my two options to the nearest 100 would be 800 or 900. So looking at that 2, a blue 2, it rhymes. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 is blue. So it means we take the lower option of 800. Finally, on to the nearest 1,000. Having a look here, I've got my columns here, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens and units. We're looking at the nearest 1,000, so we look at the column to the right, which is the hundreds column, and I've got an 8 there. Let's have a look at our two options first of all. Going downwards, I would have 57,000, or upwards, I would have 58,000. And I have an 8 in my hundreds column, that means I take the higher option, and so my correct answer would be 58,000. I'm going to do one final example which might trip us up. If we've got a load of 9s here, I've got to round to the nearest 100, sorry, on this particular one. So I've highlighted my tens column because it's the one right from the hundreds as a 9. So what my two options would be, if I'm going to the nearest 100, I'd have to make that a 0, but that would actually mean a 10, so I'd have to carry again. So going up, I would have 10,000, because the 9 would knock onto that 9, which would knock onto that 9 to make it a 10. And then going down, I would have 9,900. So that's an easier one. So looking at those two, the red 9 means I take the upper option because it's making that one go up. So to the nearest 100, it's, even though it's got more than 2 zeros on the end, the correct answer in this case would be 10,000, as we're using this process of knocking on like a chain reaction. So there we have it. That is rounding to the nearest whole number, tens, hundreds and 1,000s.